Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's BDF 44 coming at you with another video. I want to do a therapy session today because I kind of got the feeling that I had kind of thrown myself into something I really loved and uh, didn't want to lose sight of how good this has been for me. Since I'd say Friday, and I think I showed you guys in the previous therapy session, I've been working on art, you know, and I've really loved doing it. Like really love doing it to the point where I've turned into an art factory. I think I've done over 50 pieces in the last 3 days. Um, some better than others. I'm not saying I'm the most gifted artist in the world, but what I find is I do have some gifts in that area that I didn't really realize were there in all my 37 years of life. So like I'm over here wide-eyed in awe of my very own artistic ability, which is kind of sad when you think about it, but who cares? Better now than never, right? So as I'm doing this, I realize I'm not doing anything else. Like literally nothing else. I just kind of threw my whole soul at it. Like I used to do video games, to be honest with you. And that's what I was thinking about. It's like all the years I was playing video games, I should have been doing this. Like all the years I was doing different things, I should have been trying to discover various forms of art that I had. You know, for myself, I've always looked at myself as someone who was an artist for sure, but more so with words. Like poetry is what comes naturally to me. So I thought I didn't look at myself as a visual person because I never could draw. As a kid, when I tried to draw tangible stuff, it would suck. I couldn't draw people, nothing like that. But I do have a style that I can use that makes things look cohesive. So maybe I got like a Picasso kind of thing going on. Even though it's chaos, it still comes out to be something nice. So that's the style I've been kind of discovering and toying with, and finding that I've been making some really really nice stuff. So yeah, man, it had taken away my energy, not energy, but my time more so for literally anything else. You know, my regular routine, getting on the floor, doing my exercise, hadn't done any of that. Getting on here, being regular on my camera, wasn't doing any of that. When the Laker game is on, you'd think I'd be watching the Laker game. Nah, I'm over there doodling and messing with colors and stuff, listening to music and smoking my little weed. And that's what it is. It's been literally that for the last 3 days. And it's like, I think what's happening now is I'm lifting my head up from that trance, so to speak, and realizing that there's a lot to do, that I have responsibilities. You know what I mean? And my anxieties then start to kick in, right? And make me not want to, be productive once again. It makes me want to be sad or be unhappy or whatever. Because the reality, then becomes something that you have to take a look at again. You know what I mean? Regardless of what you throw your soul into, you have to come back up and realize that reality is still there. You know what I mean? And I think that's what I'm trying to address in this camera here. Is like, yeah, I've had a great time discovering what I need to discover in myself, this art. It's been great. And, as I continue to meditate on it, I feel like it's where I need to be. But the practical side of myself comes back around and says, there's still other things you need to address. You don't have the ability to throw yourself fully into art. And even though it feels natural to do so, and as you smoke your weed, you can kind of do it, what you can't do is get so far into it that you find yourself in the same situations you just came out of. So that's where I'm trying to balance myself out. And I try not to allow myself to psychologically work my way around that and to be able to still be complacent. Not only in the form of spending my time doing something that I love, but just in general, being complacent, for which I always do. I can always tell myself some miraculous thing that will make sense to me that'll allow me to stay in that space. And that's what I'm fighting against in this moment. So that's one aspect of something that I wanted to address here. And then aside from that, it's the notion that, okay, maybe I found something. You know what I mean? Like something that can make some money. Like, I'm looking at my pieces and I'm saying these pieces, maybe I perceive them as they're better than they are, right? Because I'm the artist. So I think everything I make is great. But does that make any sense? Because I look at certain pieces and I say, nah, that's trash. And then I look at other pieces and say, okay, that's great. So am I perceiving myself properly? And if so, am I as good as I think I am? So that's what I want to do, is kind of figure it out, continue to work, but also to kind of share my pieces. And that's what I've also been doing. So put it on my Instagram stories and stuff like that. Now, mind you, I know that that's probably not the best way to go in certain cases, because when you haven't copywritten certain things, it can be stolen and things of that nature. I have done nothing to protect my intellectual property, which is not the way I would suggest anyone go. Do the opposite of that. But what I'll tell you is, the way I look at a lot of the stuff that I do, including these videos, is there's more where that came from. Meaning, I don't really worry about people stealing from me or people taking what I have or saying that they did something that I did, because I'm still going to be doing. As long as I'm alive, whatever it is, if it's videos, if it's playlists, if it's these arts, if I'm alive, chances are I'm working on the next art piece. So whatever happened to the last one, the next one, I don't really care. I'm just weird that way. Maybe that's a bad thing, because you leave a lot of money on the table. But it's how I operate. Once I do something, I give it to you, it's done. These videos, these playlists, all that stuff is out there, man. The art, out there. And that's how I'm going to put it. I'm just going to flood the world with the art that I do for as long as I have an opportunity to do it. That's really what the plan is. Don't let me get rich, because that's all I'm going to do. Like, literally. And I'm going to devise more ways of discovering the art within myself. That's the goal now. It's not necessarily, I'm not really looking for what's outside. I'm actually looking inward at this point. It's like, all right, now I can do this, and this. What else can I do? Can I cook? Am I any good at that? Like, I wonder if I can act. Can I act? I wonder if I'm any good at that. Can I write different scripts? Can I write music? Like, there's so many different art forms that I think I can apply myself to, now that I'm realizing there are things that I know I could do. So, this is becoming an eye-opening situation throughout the midst of a very, very difficult time. When you pray, and this is something that also has come to me. I asked the Lord for gifts, and I think I mentioned this in the camera once, maybe in one of my therapy sessions, that I stopped asking for specifics. In terms of, Lord, give me money, give me this situation, let me have that woman, let me have that type. Nah, I'm not doing that no more. My mindset is now, I don't know what comes with what it is that I want, nor do I trust that in the moment I'm in, I'll want the right thing. So therefore, I'm no longer asking for, Lord, please give me specifics, but more so, Lord, please give me gifts. And that's how I'm kind of praying it. And since then, I've been finding stuff that I never would have asked for. Now, for whatever that's worth, you may not believe in that kind of stuff. That's cool. Hey, we welcome everybody here. But I'm telling you what's going on. This is how it's happening. And when I started asking for gifts, then I started this art process. And now I've been throwing my whole life at it. There was a time where I thought I would be miserable without my PlayStation, like literally, because I would spend 4 and 5 hours of free time hiding myself into that, playing 2K, mastering whatever I need to master in that, and loving it, making that an art form, believe it or not, in my own way. This is something that has replaced that in some ways, and to be honest with you, I like it just as much, and I never thought that would be the case. Never thought that would be the case. So, for whatever that's worth, I'm very thankful. And I think I take that as a gift. I take that as a gift. So, that's what I want to say about that. As far as my money situation, y'all know what it is. I didn't tell everybody I'm broke, partially because I'm not selling anything. And, in the world where everybody's after something to make value of something else, you would think that I would be trying to sell these things and stuff like that. But you know what, man? I just feel like at the end of the day, time is what I'm dealing with right now. Money will come as it does. As I continue to get better at what I do, I can market myself and continue to be productive. As I said, I don't worry about stuff that's already done. I just worry about what needs to be done next. So that's what it is, man. That's what it is. Keep on pushing forward. Keep pushing forward. Surround yourself with the right people who can help you. And that's what the next level for myself is to allow others into my situation, the right others, discerning properly, and starting the process of marketing this thing, the right way. Doing things that don't come naturally to me. Also, kind of going against the grain with certain things, getting out there a little more. So we'll see. Obviously, we all have plans, but those plans mean nothing as the world comes your way. So what you really need to do is just, in my opinion, stay prepared. However that looks to you, however that works for you. For me, it's praying, it's stuff like this, making these type of videos and staying true. This is my therapy. Therapy for you may be a different way, but And that's what I got to say. That's really it, man. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. That's what I was always taught. One thing I've been thinking about a lot about also, since this is a therapy session, is just, the conflict that goes on. And I think it would be a great time to say, it's just important that we understand that working together is a lot better for us than working against one another. I think a lot of times we get caught up in our own situations. Maybe, life has it so that you can't get along maybe with somebody else for political reasons. Only you understand what that means to you and your circumstances. But what I'm saying is, when you have an opportunity to speak to everyone, when you have a voice and speak to the whole world, it's so important to understand the difference between having a responsibility in your own personal life to your own people and the people around you versus using your voice to speak outward for all time, to listen for all time, to derive from it whatever they may. And I think when I speak, I try to be respectful of both. I'm aware that I'm alive in a moment in time where people exist around me, and they're not. When I use my voice, whatever I say may affect them today. So to be wise of that, but I also understand that when I speak out, I'm also speaking to someone who may see this video 20 years from now, someone who may see this video 200,000 miles from here or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who don't necessarily even speak my language, but will understand the image and will understand the spirit behind what it is that's coming out of my mouth based on the energy that I'm using. And I think when we start to look at things that way, when we start to kind of broaden our understanding of where our voices go, I think we understand that it's important to find that balance that I'm referring to. In other words, when we be divisive in whatever way that we are, having alliances to whatever it is that we do, just remember that somebody who doesn't understand either of you, the two sides, is going to take from you what it is that you said, and they're going to apply it to the people around them, and they're going to do things because of that. And I think that's what I'm trying to put into this camera right now, is an understanding of where your voice can go and how I'm going to try to use my voice properly to speak in defense of who it is that I believe in, and the people that I believe in, as well as how we treat those we don't believe in, and how that can affect maybe how someone treats people they don't believe in later on. You understand what I'm saying? How you handle your conflicts. Because I'm seeing things online, man. I'm seeing people, and they're not being mindful of how their voices affect all time, forevermore. They only thinking about today. They're only thinking about, I gotta be aligned with these people, because if I don't align with these people ain't gonna believe in my ability to lead, and then everything falls apart. It's like you got more of a responsibility to your voice than what you realize. That's what I would say to that person. I don't want to speak specifically because it's too close to home, but it is what it is, man. I think at the end of the day, we just need to be mindful that other people are watching too. That's it. Not just the people who are close to you. So that's what I got to say about that, man. Put that message in the world. Sometimes they say there's power in words. I was very intentional with what I just said here. Even if there's not a whole lot of context to it, I think the purpose of what I said is very general. It should be understood. But anyway, that's what I got, man. That is my therapy session. It's probably number 22, 23, something like that. It feels good to still have my vehicle in the garage, you know what I mean? I'm humbled by the circumstances I'm in. I'm appreciative that a lot of that manic energy is gone, that I was dealing with last week based on the stresses and the lack of weed in my life, for which I'm happy to have back, at least for the short term. And those things need to get better on my end. I need to do better. I think there's a natural feeling inside of me to just continue this art process to see where it goes. And maybe I strike it rich with that. You never know. Wouldn't be the first. So that's what I got, man. I appreciate y'all energy. I'm going to try to grow this channel. And look, man, at the end of the day, it's not about views. It's not about how much attention I get or exalting myself. My natural instinct and inclination is to exalt self. So I was an only child. You know what I mean? I was used to being spoiled, but I saw what being spoiled got me. A whole lot of nothing. Whole lot of weak. That's it. Nothing strong about it. So at this point, I challenge myself to be more unselfish as I grow in a situation where I'm building what it is that I'm building alone. I hope that in wherever it goes, it's able to do something for someone else. And I'm not sitting here saying I want a statue or I'm gonna be a saint or nothing like that, or you need to, do nothing for me. But what I'm saying is, I hope to earn it anyway. You feel me? Whether you choose to or not, I hope to put myself in a position to earn that, while standing firm in the fact that I'm flawed, so flawed. Demons I fight, internal crap. It's all that. But at the end of the day, you can live with your challenges and still be effective to others. You can have your demons, but not be a demon toward the world you in, man. Respecting the energy that you put out, and that's what I'm trying to do. The older I get, the more I do that. And understand this: there will be things that come into our lives that will make us want to turn into worse versions of ourselves in reaction to those things. Understand that they are set up for that very purpose. And if you do the other thing that doesn't coincide with that, there's fruit over there. Lots of it. I'm going to leave y'all with that. My name is BDF 44. Thank y'all for watching. I'm out.